Hey, how's it going, everybody? Figured I'd go ahead and do another pickups video here. I got these not too long ago, a couple months. I've been planning on showing them, but was going to put it off for a bit. It's just got all this stuff going on my place on fixing things, replacing things like the entire water line, which is the main problem. Hence, it broke again last night. So back to having to do the bottled water thing and stuff until they get the whole line replaced. Hence, no way I'm going to spend extra money to have just a little piece fixed when they could do the whole damn line. So, been packing away all my knives and bayonets and stuff like that, so they're not in sight. Hence, they got to come in here to feed the lines up into my bathroom and whatnot. So, anyways, I'll show you guys the French bayonet first. I've got 3 of these now, which includes this one. And this one is in really, really good condition. Somebody took damn good care of it. And what's kind of weird on it, I've got 2 of this style that have the alloy grip. Neither this one or my other one, where that one, it's functional but rusted up. It definitely shows its age. Neither of them have any markings, serial numbers or anything, but then my brass-handled one has just a serial number on it. It may have some of the little crown-type markings or whatever, or they may just be dents where it kind of just half-assed looks like it might have been or whatever. Otherwise, this one, totally barren of any markings whatsoever, but man, the condition is just freaking beautiful on this. Like I say, somebody took care of it. Anyways, it's another French Lebel Rosalie bayonet. Rosalie being the nickname, from model 1886. And the cruciform blade on it, if you want to call it a blade, does have the patina rust, but no fresh rust. It's just got that usual patina on it, which I gotta get some WD-40 or some kind of oil that I can spray onto this and then put it back in the sheath so to keep any fresh rust off of it, which, easy here, I live in the frickin' desert. That's the one thing we got going for us. Things don't rust much here. Unless you leave them out in the desert during monsoons, but anything indoors, man, stays pretty damn good. Here it's pretty much dry rot. Otherwise, there's on one side, say, man, really good condition. Locking mechanism here is just beautiful. Just has that dark patina to it. The aged metal still works good. And on my brass-handled one, the serial number is right here. And I don't think that one has anything on the sheath, unless there is something that was on the little ball funnel here. I'm still thinking that might just be a dent. Otherwise, sheath is nice and straight, no bad dings or bends in it. Just some little light nicks here and there, which could be from this thing being packed around all these years. Cruciform blade. Let's see. Stupid ass camera. I'm gonna show it darker than it is. Like I say, it's just light patina going up and down, but nothing fresh on the rust. No bends. The tip is still sharp. See, man, this was taken care of. It's crazy. Usually the ones of this era and whatnot, 1800s, I seem to be finding a lot of French stuff lately, which I'm totally cool with. I love the French bayonets, so I'm totally cool finding ones like these, man. Like I say, this is the 3rd one, so just wish I could find one with the frog. It would be nice to have the original frog, at least one of them with it. Now on This next thing is not a bayonet, but it's related to a bayonet, which I will show you. One of them in my collection, same maker. And I gotta look up the frog. This is one of those things to where, I don't know, if you guys saw my last video, man, I've given up on trying to understand how my pawn shop prices stuff. But they had two of these knives, and the only difference was the frogs. And neither of the frogs look like they go with the knife. They look like maybe they go with Swedish bayonets, which I will find out. One of them definitely looks like a Swedish bayonet frog. I just don't know for which model of Swedish bayonet. One of my Swiss bayonets had the original leather frog, so I got that, put this one in it, because this is just a freaking kick-ass looking fighting knife, man. It's just cool. So anyways, when I looked this up, can't find that many. A lot of the places that had them for sale are sold out on them, where you can still see the picture and get some information, but they're just calling it a Swiss Army fighting knife. And I don't know if Victorinox made any of these. I'm thinking they're all possibly modified Wenger bayonets, where they just swapped out the handle. That's the only difference. The shape of the handle and everything is similar, but it's been swapped out. The blade is the same that you would have with one of the bayonets. Same thing with the sheath and the frog. And what they did on the handle, it's this really hard plastic. It does have the Swiss Army cross on it. So cool. Otherwise, like on identification, which is same thing on my other one, it just says W on the blade for Wenger, serial number, and then the other side, I think it's FW and a plus sign in a circle. I can't remember what that stands for on the logo. They all have that. My other one, in fact, maybe this one, this may be, okay, I may be wrong. I think this one that I have out to compare, I think this is the Victorinox one. I think my Wenger one is still packed away. It's on the bayonets. I have the Wenger one, and then I have the Victorinox one. On the Victorinox one, for the bayonet, it says Victorious Swipes. I don't know if it's got any that just have a V on it or not. So anyways, here it is. Model after the Swiss M57 bayonet. It's model 57. Just all black plastic handle. Try and get that so you guys can kind of half-ass see it. Maybe, possibly, or maybe not, because according to camera, you'll never know. Stupid ass thing. It just does not pick up stuff good. Otherwise, it's got the Swiss Army cross on both sides. And like I said, one side has the W with the serial number, which the serial number on this one is 605517, and then the other side, yeah, it looks like FW and a plus sign and a circle, which is on all of them. Otherwise, exact same blade. Where I saw a thread on the gun side or whatever, where the guy was saying, that's probably what they did, was they made a ton of these freaking bayonets. The bayonets are really easy to find. If you guys are looking for one, they are really easy to find. This, not so easy. I think I found one that was a gun site that was selling them. They said they were the only site that could sell this or got permission or whatever the hell, or they're just talking shit. Where they showed it, but it was all sold out, I believe. Otherwise, I'm thinking what they did was get some of the old Wenger bayonets and swap out the handles. And I don't know if they did it same year this was made, so they'd have some fighting knives and bayonets, or later on, or what. Otherwise, freaking cool. Then on the frog, that is the frog supposed to go with it, where it's just got a stud there, and then like a belt loop, or belt that goes through the loop, and there's the loop, just like the bayonet. On the back of this, it just says M57 81. I think my other one doesn't have a frog. I think I got one with the frog, and then I got one without it, which goes back maybe 10 years. I can't remember when I got them. I think they were from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. They used to be a really good site to get bayonets from. I don't know if they are anymore or not. Used to be able to get them for dirt cheap. They get all kinds of vintage bayonets in where it'd be like a whole frickin' stockpile of them, so they'd sell them for dirt cheap. I think I got the bayonets for like, God, maybe even less than 30 bucks a piece, man, with the original leather frogs. Which, the ones you see for sale now, you'll see a lot of them where it's this, green canvas looking type stuff that they used. It's maybe coated in plastic or whatever, some type of green type stuff that they use for the frogs, which maybe was later on. I don't know how long they used this model, so it could be just they used the leather ones first. Otherwise, man, very freaking cool. Now on the weird thing on the pawn shop, like I say, man, the only difference was one of them had a different frog. Which, show you guys the bayonet. Yeah, I just... in fact, this one, the frog was in better shape, kind of. It's starting to show some dry rot, it's getting hardened up, but it's still usable. The other frog on the straps was more of a crisscross pattern. In fact, this one... yeah, this one did have the one to go across. They just cut it off. So it could be they were about the same type. It's just the other one I don't think had the strap here. That's where I'll have to look these up and see what bayonet they're for, because obviously something different from this. They don't size up right. Because my Swedish ones, this little stud is on the sheath, not the frog. Yeah, that's what they did. There's stuff that was stitched on right here and then down there, so it's been modified. And it says nothing on the back of it, no markings. Otherwise, one of you guys, other than me that collects, may recognize what it's for. Which, I don't have it around me here as I'm packing them away. Yeah, I've got a couple of Swedish bayonets. I'll have to see if they fit in this or not. Doesn't look like the ones that would be for the smaller all-metal Swedish bayonets, but maybe the longer one that I have might fit this. Otherwise, say, man, all they did was change out the handle. Okay, yeah, this is my Victorinox one. Just says Victoria Schweiz, and then this one has a serial of 23620. Say same logo. And comparing this to the fighting knife and my Wenger, pretty much the only difference that they did on the bayonets. Victorinox one, nicer quality. Everything's kind of smoothed out like you would expect from Victorinox. that's pretty much it, man. Otherwise, it's identical to the Wenger. So anyways, like I say, man, just similar frogs here. This one I got for $50 cash, even $50. The other one, same bayonet. Maybe the frog was made out of vegan leather, so it was worth more. I don't frickin' know. Or maybe baby seals. Otherwise, for some reason, they got that one marked at 70. So, I don't get it. If y'all saw my last video, man, the last stuff I got, some of it, definitely one of it, it's out of view. Worth a lot of frickin' money, and I got it for next to nothing. Because they didn't take time to look it up. The bayonets, sometimes they'll take time to look them up, depending. Some bayonets are hard to look up if they don't have anything to identify them, hence markings, serial numbers, whatever. So you got me. I'm tempted to pick up the other fighting knife. I mean, when it comes to these, first time I've ever seen one. Because of the current situation, and I don't listen to that much country music. I avoid the gun shops around here. And last times I was checking, they really didn't get bayonets in that much. And closest place to me, other than my local swap meet, is Golden Valley, where they got big swap meets. I haven't been down there in a while. Did hear somewhere, maybe on Facebook, that we're supposed to be getting a little army surplus type store, so maybe you'll have bayonets down there. I don't know. Otherwise, I pretty much just stick to the pawn shops now, because, man, any of the regular surplus stores, gun stores, they jack the prices way up around here. Unless it's one to where they're just interested in getting money on the guns, which I think that's the deal with my pawn shop. They're more interested in making money on guns and jewelry and stuff like that they know how to deal with. They know the values of them and whatnot, and stuff like this. It's just whatever. So, very cool. And after the last finds, I'm going to be hitting up my pawn shop a lot more if they're going to keep kitting in all these crazy ass knives and stuff. And headhunter axes from other countries. I'm going to keep hitting them up, because if I can get them for that cheap, hell yeah, man, I'll keep adding to my collection. On bayonets, they get them in occasionally, but I'm not the only collector. So when they get stuff like this, it disappears fast, man. I think I just got lucky on this, to where they must have just set it out and nobody had really looked at it yet or didn't care. Otherwise, any kind of the old saber bayonets and whatnot, man, they go pretty damn fast. Unless they're beat up or whatever. Which the last ones I've gotten from them have been pretty nice. It's amazing what kind of stuff's been coming into my local pawn shop. So, like I said, man, I'll have another video up when I have another video. Now that we got another break in the water line, we're going to see if the guys can get here sooner to do the whole thing, man. Because, especially if you're in Florida or whatever, where these hurricanes and shit are hitting, y'all know that it sucks ass not having water. You start really missing it really fast. I feel sorry for any of those damn people, man, that have to live for frickin' weeks, months, years, depending on what part of Florida you're in when you don't have any water. At least we found a good place to get the job done, and they do good work, and everything's expensive now, so I can't say cheap enough, but hopefully by the time I do another vid, I'll have liquid refreshment, and I'll smell better, which, my main trips are freaking Goodwill and Walmart, so I'm smelling better, whatever, man, I fit right in. It's like, name that odor. There's one guy, man. Oh, I'd swear some people sweat battery acid or something because my nose was burning when he walked past me. It smelled that bad. Which, I'll go outside and use a freaking lawn hose if I get that bad, but damn. Some of these people, it's like, God, man. Fire hydrant, anything, man. Call 911. Say you're on fire and maybe they'll hose your freaking smelly ass down. I don't know. But some of them, it just burns the hair in your nostrils. Just nasty. And it's not just guys. There's some gals that have, or whatever that thing was that I saw at Goodwill, man, that just reek. They get some nasty ass people at that store. Especially the old one where it was the hoarder's version of Goodwill where you go through the freaking bins of stuff. Oh, they get some nasty people. But you find good stuff if you can hold your breath long enough. Later, everybody.